Now we have a very, very special guest, who is also one of the hosts, David Antonio Fletzer, the President of the Italian Society of Physical and Rehabilitative Medicine.
Dear Santi, good luck for your Congress, but especially for European presidents. Italy is always for you. Good evening and welcome to everybody. Let me start by projecting a list of president secretaries that the Italian Society of PRM had in its 52 years of history. I believe that we cannot look to the future if we forget our past and roots, and every Congress represents a stepping stone to the future. During the past 50 years, physical rehabilitation medicine has been created in Europe through a laborious activity done by important IAM organizations to promote the development of a discipline and to standardize its practice across all countries in the European community. Here, in this open ceremony, we are honored to have all main European PRM organizations represented: the European Society of PRM, the European Academy, and the Wellness Board Section Board. In addition, as Italians, we are glad to underline that the president of 2 out of these 4 organizations, Professor Giustini and Franchignoni, are members of our Italian society. Moreover, we are proud for the history and role of SINFRA and its members in this European organization since their beginning. The European Federation of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation was founded in 1963 and grouped together the national scientific societies. The European Academy was founded in 1969. The monospecialist section of Physical and Rehabilitation Medicine of the UEMS started in 1971 and its board in 1991. Among their founders there are persons as Valobra and Fiandesio, who founded also the European Medical Physical, the official journal of the European Federation, now European Journal of Physical and Rehabilitation Medicine, that had Boccardi, Franchignoni, Di Benedetto, and now Negrini as editor-in-chief. Moreover, leading members of this organization for many years were Tonazzi and Bertolini. In addition, SINFRA is proud to have among its honorary members a man as Professor Bardot, who is a bright example of top physiotherapists in the world. These colleagues had and have roles of great responsibility in European as well in international PM bodies, together with many other friends who are here in this opening ceremony. As appointed Carlo Bertolini, I want to send a greeting on behalf of all members of SINFRA, hoping to have him with us again soon. And now, let's look at some of the themes in this important event: quality, evidence, effectiveness and efficacy. These are perfect words. They are relevant to all areas of medicine, from orthopedics to gynecology, cardiology and pediatrics. But this work in physical rehabilitation medicine had a different interest because this science is quite different from those. It's the science of human functioning and thus of complexity and diversity, because it's a comprehensive, holistic, inclusive, multidisciplinary and empowering science. In our DNA, we have not only healing concept, but also diversity concept in all its aspects: physical, medical, cultural, educational. Ours is more a biopsychosocial discipline than a biomedical one, as the session on ICF will show. It looks at the whole personal functioning as personal environment interaction, over and above the biological aspect of a disease. Rehabilitative research finds difficult in applying the same rules as classical EPM. It's easier for us to use parameters reference to quality of life. Many papers submitted to this congress demonstrate this. When we talk of effectiveness and efficacy, we inevitably bring economics into the discussion. In times of crisis like the present, we also know now, however, that rehabilitation is too often considered a luxury. Despite the fact that in many countries policies are dictated by ministers of finance, economists have regularly attempted to connect indicators for measuring economic well-being, or rather monetary progress indicators like gross domestic product, to indicators for measuring social and environmental factors in order to obtain a clear assessment of quality of life. Emphasis has switched from GDP to Regional Development Quality Index, and this is of great importance to a Congress speaking about people. Recent healthcare reforms in the United States will inevitably have a knock-on effect in Europe, as they confirm the mixed state and the private system as the best possible solution for health sector. The esprm and the AAPIM and the CARF session will have more to say on this issue. In Italy today, 75% of the cost of healthcare is covered by public funds, but projecting for a future hypothesis that this figure may well drop to below 50%, even though health is the only right that our Constitution, Article 32, expresses as fundamental, and even though it's forecast that the number of persons aged 80 and over will increase by more than 200% over the next 30 years. It's dangerous, therefore, to base the medical discipline dealing with activity, disability and participation on economic factors alone. I would like to remind you also that by overemphasizing economic factors, some discipline have underestimated the value of the past in the present and the concept and the value of an individual. Discussion of post-humanism are already referring to Homo electronicus as the successor to Homo habilis, Homo erectus, and Homo sapiens. Science and technology are obviously closely linked, but it would be a mistake to ignore the clear line of demarcation then that disaster must continue to exist between the two fields. The session on robotics and the many interesting Russian contributions deal with this issue. In fact, this Congress will benefit from some important sessions about advancing rehabilitation research, perspective and methodology for research, and contribution by Elisa and Stuckey and other leading scientists is essential for helping us to understand how to build our future choice.